to speak. I'm going to try and get this done on 5, not because I'm in a rush, but because I find that things transfer really quickly on Zoom. Pour ceux et celles qui parlent français, si vous avez des questions après, posez-les. Mais je pense que ça va être plus efficace si je vais le dire tout dans un paragraphe sans faire une traduction simultanée. So what's my story? I'm going to tell you my story in 3 really quick parts. Who am I? What am I doing? And what are the results? So who am I? I was ordained in 2004. I stepped into a pulpit in 2001 as a student minister. I am born to continental European parents. My mother is Italian, and my father is Hungarian. He would have identified as Hungarian Jewish, half Jew, but a Holocaust survivor or a Second World War survivor. My grandfather was a Holocaust survivor. And that's just a real short snapshot of my demographic background. I grew up on the West Island of Montreal. It took me a long time to realize that I'm actually technically not an Anglophone. If that means anything to you, I'm an allophone. And my parents are people who, quote unquote, stayed during the 76-80 period and passed away both a couple of years ago, but still living in the one home that they ever owned in Beaconsfield. I've been in the city of Ottawa for just a few years, and I've done the bulk of my ministry in the eastern townships of Quebec and the lower North Shore. So that's kind of who I am. What am I doing? Well, Carleton Memorial, which is my home church here in Ottawa, which is a memorial church founded by veterans and is not far from the university, if you know the city of Carleton University, has partnered as of 2 years ago this fall with another church on the Quebec side, about 60 kilometers away. So I'm nice and old school. I don't know if you can see this. Joshua, is that visible? Yes, I can't see. So?
Yep.
All right. So you have the 2 logos of the 2 churches that I...
Gotta go up a little.
Is that better?
Yep.
All right. And you can just sort of see that the branding is the same and we're all nice and new age. But the difference of what this is that it's not the traditional 2-point charge. I am employed 100% by Carleton Memorial, and my time is subcontracted to the church in Quebec at St. Andrews. So what we identified is that, traditionally in the United Church for years and years and years, we've done 2-point charges based on geographic proximity. And even pre-COVID, we were leveraging technology in order, not in terms of putting services online, but virtual offices and meeting through Skype in order to manage these 2 sites. And the end result, and we'll cut right to the chase on how what it produces so you'll understand how it works, is that pre-COVID, is that good, Joshua? People can see that?
Yep, looks good.
Okay. I was spending 10% of my time doing administration, 25% of my time doing worship, and fully 65% of my time doing pastoral care. So how does that work? Well, we use a subcontract business model, which is to say that if I don't need to be at a meeting, I'm not. We trust the intelligence of all our volunteers to make decisions autonomously, and I have certainly my oversight. But what it means is that the pastoral charges are leveraging the hard skills that I bring. I'm doing my master's, my MA thesis, my MA training in psychotherapy at St. Paul's University here. I have a business strategic planning and marketing background, pre-ministry. And so working in a car and going to see people one-on-one is really what I'm about. And I have 2 lay worship leaders who report directly to me so that I don't do 2 on a Sunday. There's a real understanding that everybody then is free to contribute what they want to contribute. There's a central steering committee between the 2 congregations to set priorities. And for those of you who come from, let's say, a rural background or a hunting and fishing background, it's like a true cooperative. For those of you who come from the city, it really is a business subcontract model. But what it basically says is we're going to free up my time. So what it's not a new program. What it is it's a new state of mind and a condition of spirit that essentially says we are here not to stretch what we have further. We're not here to do more with less. We're here to make the maximum use of what we have at the right time in the right place. So that's where I'm going to end my story now, because I think that the more I talk, the more I run the risk of going down a rabbit hole. And I'll turn it back over to you folk at whatever time it is that you want to ask any questions about how all this works. Trusting that the stats of 10% admin, 25% worship planning, and 65% pastoral care speaks for itself. The last thing that I'll add is that we took one church that was in the red and brought them to break even, and the other church that was breaking even to bring them to the black. So it's not all about the money, but it's a lot easier to live without financial stress.